was once said, "Good is the enemy of great." If all that you strive for is good enough, how will you ever achieve greatness? The efforts led to this. Every rep, every drill, all the work unseen will be worth it. Because right now, the eyes are on us.
Blow the check up, detonation, kill them one by one, final destination. Top my destination, I got guardian angels all around it. That's deflector say, I'm a motherfucking champion. This right here, the anthem. I can't dap you without hands saying, I don't know your dirty ass hands been. I wake up to like 100 texts. Championship team, but we can't cut the net. She all off in my jersey, looking underdressed. I'm finna buy this bitch a Honda CRX.
Welcome back to Cheyenne High School, as we're about 5 minutes away from tip-off of the second part of our doubleheader tonight between West Fargo Cheyenne and the Horace Hawks. The girls' game is in the books. That was a 68-50 victory for Horace on that one. That video should be available soon to view on demand if you have an interest in that. But we're more focused on the boys' game right now. I'm Dan Wolf. Joining alongside me is the other half of the Miller family duo, Dane Miller. Dane, good to have you aboard. What are we expecting from this game tonight?
Well, I expect it to be high scoring. It's going to be up and down. But here's the question. Is Cheyenne going to dictate the tempo, or is Horace? Because a half-court game with the bigs for Cheyenne should work, right?
Absolutely. Tommy Oneman has been a force so far this year. We know Cheyenne played two good teams to start. Bismarck and Minot. They defeated Bismarck, lost by 3 to Minot. That was the number 5 and number 3 teams in the state at that time. They beat the West Fargo Packers, maybe a game that they made a little closer than they had to. But we also know Cheyenne's coming off a tough loss at Fargo South the other night, a game they were up by 17 at halftime and ended up losing. And so, I think a lot of parallels maybe between the girls' team and the boys' team in that you still have some people. We talked about, like John Angao, who can shoot the lights out. He was hurt so much of last year, so maybe doesn't have as much varsity experience as some other guys, and you're relying on some people that maybe don't have a ton of experience. We know that finding consistent scoring outside of Tommy Oneman has been an issue. Can we get someone that's going to step forward and be a regular contributor? So there's a lot of question marks, I think, still, even though Cheyenne's off to a good start, probably some questions about what the season is going to look like. And this is a team that, however it worked out, they are playing a ton of games before the Christmas break.
But you know what? They're going to go, they got one break in between, or 2 nights breaks between 3 games here this week, right?
Yeah.
And, after what went down on Tuesday, that was a tough loss for the Cheyenne team. But, hey, they get to get back on the floor 2 days later.
Well, and put it, and to forget it. In sports, basketball, for sure, you have to have a short memory. We see the EDC boys basketball standings for the varsity right now. Cheyenne 1-1 in league, and Horace 0-1. Horace dropped a game to Davies, I believe, was their first game in the EDC, and then Cheyenne.
I think Horace played North.
Right. It was North the other night, and then Cheyenne obviously beating West Fargo High and then losing to South. So it's still very early in the season.
I mean, honestly, Horace must have played North. I mean, they only lost by 11. And North is #1 right now, right? State.
Yeah, they are.
So, I mean, this is not. You look at size on the floor right now, just as the warm-ups go, and you're thinking, how is Horace gonna deal with all that? But I know Coach Cummings a little bit. He's gonna have these boys ready. They're gonna be running. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, and whenever you're playing that crosstown rival, that adds a little bit of extra horsepower under the hood for a lot of kids. Everyone wants to make a statement in what they see as a big game. So this will certainly be interesting to see what this looks like here as we go into this one. Essentia Health is proud to be the premier partner of Mustang Media, working with Cheyenne High School to make a healthy difference in the lives of the students and families we are privileged to serve. Essentia Health like nowhere else. So we'll be getting the starting lineups here in a little bit. Dane, is there any player for Cheyenne that you see as maybe the X factor tonight? We know Tommy Oneman, everything kind of goes through him on the offense, but is there one guy that you're looking forward to maybe stepping up and making a difference in the outcome on either end of the floor?
Well, obviously Caleb Deere is always, his senior leadership will be important, but hey, if Coach Brandt makes a decision to get Tommy and Turo Moni in there at the same time, Turo could be an X factor. If he gets the ball down low, he's getting better down low. He might be able to do some damage.
And we know he can stroke it from outside, right? We know he's a good shooter. But, an opportunity, that's something we haven't seen a lot of, the two bigs on the floor at the same time for Cheyenne. And really, the teams they've played so far don't really have big guys that match up real well with Oneman. So you really don't have the opportunity maybe as often to put two bigs on the floor. But
it'll be interesting to see if Horace comes out in a zone and tries to pack it in on Tommy a little bit and see if Cheyenne.
And we've seen Cheyenne shoot well at times.
They can.
But it's been streaky. It hasn't been consistent this year.
Right.
And that's always the search when you're playing basketball. Anything you do offensively, defensively, transition, you want to find consistency. You want to be able to do things regularly and be able to repeat that. And that's what Cheyenne will be hoping to do tonight.
Let's be honest, too. I would be surprised if we didn't see Horace hit Cheyenne with some full court pressure. I'm sure they watched some film, right? They probably saw a little bit of what happened
against Fargo South. And
even the Packers in the second half.
Well, the Packers, I think, did such a nice job of speeding Cheyenne up. They were up, Cheyenne was up by 25, and they just were willing to play at that speed that West Fargo was dictating instead of, it doesn't even matter that you get a good shot when you're up by 25, but if you can take 20 seconds off the shot clock every time, and they got sped up.
And you and I were talking about this in the girls' game, how important the first 5 minutes or so of the second half are. Guess what? That's not gone so great for the Mustangs in all 4 games, really. But, hey, you got to put that stuff behind you and learn from it. And like you said, there's not a ton of varsity experience in the Cheyenne. I mean, Caleb's got a fair amount.
Right.
Barry got some. Sully got a little bit last year, but it's still kind of new for
it is. And
Miller and Angau and Olson.
And when you graduate some guys, now you got to again figure out who plays well, who complements each other. Complementary basketball, doing it on both ends of the floor. Something I've not seen this year from Cheyenne. I don't know if they have any plans to try and pressure, maybe bring that to a three-quarter court, something like that. That's something we haven't seen Cheyenne try and do at all. You do have a rim protector in the back with Oneman, so you can go ahead and, maybe let some things get past you from time to time, knowing that he's going to be back there.
So we know Horace can fill it up from 3, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Westfall, Evanson, Safoy, they can, Mike Safoy, I see him in the gym at the Wellness Center, even during school now at 6 in the morning, 6:30, working on his game.
Well, they aren't going to be big on the floor.
Nope.
That's for sure.
Nope.
But, you know, you can overcome that by pushing tempo and really trying to run your opponents off the floor. So it might be two contrasting styles that we see tonight. You know, maybe more of a slow-down game for Cheyenne if they want to direct things through Tommy Oneman, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Horace want to get out and run with the kids that they have and the shooters that they have, try and put that pressure on the Cheyenne defense.
And I make no mistake about it, Cheyenne can run.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so.
Well, and that was, you know, the game against Bismarck, one of the things that impressed me the most was Tommy Oneman in that game, because in all honesty, I think last year Tommy would have kind of gotten run off the floor, but he is so much stronger and so much better conditioned this year. It has been impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the dude, he ran with Howard Poley this summer in AAU. That's some big-time competition he's seeing there.
So we're about ready to get underway here. Both teams, of course, you never want to lose to your crosstown rivals, so you have bragging rights. Again, a lot of these kids have known each other, went to school with each other, played on the same teams with each other when they were younger, and because of you know, the way the district has drawn boundaries and everything, this is how it works out now. So we'll see how this goes tonight. So Cheyenne going to start with Barry Penu, Caleb Deere, John Angau, Tommy Oneman.
Tommy hasn't lost a tip. Does that surprise you?
No, that one does not. And I think it's Noah Olson starting for the Mustangs tonight. Oneman wins the tip. Cheyenne's going to come out and see what they can do to start things. Deere pulls the trigger right away, short on the wing three from the left side. Westfall gets the rebound, and
a lot of fast motion. You're going to see everyone moving on Horace now.
well, and that makes you have to keep your wits about you defensively. See if they can keep their hands up, keep hands in the passing lane, as we see Safoy with a nice crossover. He gets to the hoop. He finishes.
He has no fear going in there.
No, he does not. And they're going to say Barry Penu gets him. So the first foul of the game goes against the Mustangs. Safoy to the line for an and one opportunity. Horace going to concede the rebound, I'm guessing, as they have four guys back. And Safoy good with his free throw. And Horace jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Looks like a man defense here by Horace as Barry Penu off the top of the backboard. There's Westfall taking off. And that quick transition, that's going to keep the heat on Cheyenne all night.
So we've taken 2 threes. We got 6-8 against 6-2.
6-2, 6-3 inside. There's one from John Angau, an answer. 5-3 now the Hawks lead as Safoy brings the ball up. Up to Diamande. Over to Westfall, back up top to Diamande. Deere, good defense there. Keeping the heat on Evenson. There's the 3 ball from Diamande, no good.
You should definitely be winning the boards here. There's
good
a good
change of speed.
Barry's good at that.
Great job by Barry Penu. He gets downhill and gets to the rack. Finishes, and we are tied up. Again, you know, similar to the girls' Dane, probably Horace with not a lot of fear. These guys all had to play a varsity schedule last year, so you're not necessarily intimidated by anything teams are going to do to you. As Evenson goes ahead and makes that one.
Evenson went for 28 the other night, I think, against North.
You know, I think if you're Cheyenne, you maybe good inside pass there to Oneman, good pass by Deere. There's just no one on Horace's team that can do anything about that. But I think, do you concede if you get beat off the dribble, knowing you have Oneman to protect the rim, but you protect against the three-point shot, knowing how well these guys shoot the three?
Well, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one way to beat that, as we see Bryson Hoffer double pumping and drawing the foul on Deere. It was a good pass by Safoy.
I mean, I'd like to see some pick and roll, maybe some continuity, some screen and rolls going on here. Even if you pull Tommy off the block and you bring him up top, you just roll him down. He should be open.
First substitution of the game. Dang Dutt in for Hoffer. 10-7 Hawks lead. Coming up on 15 minutes to go here. Pennu's going to direct the offense over to Deere. Looking inside for Oneman. Oneman has some position now. And Gao off on the three. Probably smart for the Mustangs. Just because the three presents itself doesn't mean that it's necessary.
Yeah, but you got to shoot that one.
Well,
I mean,
you know, if you want to try and as much as possible.
He could have drove.
He could have driven. Could have swung it around, looked for Oneman once again. There's that jump in the pick there by Oneman. He recovers, gets back. That shot is off, but Savoy out hustles Pennu and picks that one up. Evenson going to reset things.
But Dan, the start to the game is falling right into Horace's hands. I mean, that's is what they wanted.
And there's a charge. Yep. You could see that coming. Barry's going to pick up his second foul here, and that's going to bring Jackson Miller on. You know, Barry so often wants to get to the rim, and that's not a bad idea, but you also have to read the situation. You know, if he pulls up there, he still has an 8-foot jump shot. He can dish the ball one way or the other, but that defender had established position. You could see that coming. Dutt up to Westfall, Evenson, Safoy. Little dribble weave at the top there. Under 10 on the shot clock. They get Dutt releasing to the hoop.
As a screen and roll.
Yeah.
It works. You don't got to be big to do it.
No, you don't. If you run it properly, you don't have to have that height advantage. And there, Dutt and Oneman really mixing it up in there, and they're going to call Dutt on that one. And that's, I'm sure the plan is to, you know, try and be physical with Oneman and make him move off of his mark as much as possible and have to reestablish. But you also got to try and find a way to do it without fouling at the same time. They find Oneman underneath.
Yeah, that's an easy assist.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a guard in this Cheyenne team. You'd have just 8 assists a game.
Find the 6'9" guy anytime you can. There's that screen and roll again. Dutt's able to save it, but they're going to say
out of bounds.
Safoy, either the ball or the Safoy stepped on the line, whichever it was. Cheyenne, an opportunity to possibly tie on this possession.
There we go.
There's that high-low, you know, and that was something that was missing against Minot as they fronted on that. You know, if you get that diagonal cutter to that elbow and you could get that high-low pass, something that Cheyenne didn't use against Minot, but paying dividends here as Dutt picks up his second.
That was a good pass by
It was really good pass. 2 good entry passes now by Deere into the post. And Hoffer's going to come back, which means either Hoffer or Diamante is going to have to be the one that contends with Oneman down low. In and out for Oneman. Savoy going to attack. Almost a steal there by Deere.
You know, I know they're quick, but you got to pressure these guards. You got to make them make mistakes too.
And they're going to get Olsen on that one. That was Gavin Olsen driving to the hoop. So 14 fouls now for the Mustangs, only 2 for the Hawks. So they're going to try and run Westfall around. Some traffic there. Diamante comes in. He now knows that Tommy Oneman's behind him. Diamante pulls it out.
Moose has really developed his game too over the last couple of years.
And there's another one on Deere. That's 2. 2 in about 20 seconds as we see some more subs here for the Hawks. They've got Evenson.
Aiden Green.
Aiden Green on there.
Is he a freshman? Is he a freshman?
Freshman.
Whew.
So you do have quite the spread when you're a young program like this.
Yep.
Just a couple of seniors on the roster, but also down to freshmen as we see Tiro Moni, Sully Irie come into the game. Good job jumping that screen by Moni, but that frees up Hoffer, but he can't convert.
I like Turo jump that, but he needs to
recover
get
then.
back.
Yep. Good quick move by Angao. There they get it into, great.
There we go.
There was
no need to put that on the floor, huh?
And you know, we've seen Tommy Oneman at times struggle with that too, wanting the first reaction is to put that ball on the floor. And that's where all those little fast hands are, and they're swatting at it. If you're there at the hoop and ready to go up, there's no need for a power dribble and to put the ball on the floor. It was a great cut by Angao and a nice find by Oneman, but putting that ball on the floor was not what was needed. There, Turo did a better job of recovering after Hoffer set the screen. So Safoy up top. Screen coming. Good job by Miller keeping Safoy contained. Up top to Westfall. Under 10 on the shot clock. As Green's going to pull the trigger.
Ooh. All right, let's go.
Here's an opportunity. Doesn't have to be something quick. It chooses to be something quick. And good job by Irie tying that one up.
Yep.
It's another thing we've seen at times is Cheyenne, pushes tempo. That's great. But if the numbers aren't there, there's certainly nothing wrong with setting something up and being a little more selective on the shot. Just because you've pushed tempo doesn't mean you're forced to have to try and shoot it right away. And there's a 3 by Diamante. Moose nails the 3. So we do have the 2 bigs on the floor at once as Angao drops a 3. Still haven't really seen trying to utilize their size inside. Content to take some threes as Angao almost comes up with that. Knocks it out of bounds.
I'll say it again. I'd love to see Tommy kind of come up to the top of the key, just rub off one of those guards, defenders, and just roll to the basket.
Yeah.
Just an easy toss right up into him.
So Green handling the ball here.
Yeah, these guys can handle the rock.
Yeah, they can. Good quick move by Diamante. I think it might be Turo they're going to get on that one.
I think it's on Tommy.
No, it is Oneman. So that's his first 16 foul. So Horace will be in the bonus the rest of the way in the first half. Horace still with only 2 fouls on them as Diamante misses the first free throw. Barry Penu back in for Oneman. going to get him a break. Soturo becomes the center here.
We can go small.
He can go small.
This is the first team we can say. I bet this is the first time we've had this group on the floor, isn't it?
It very well might be, as he's 1 of 2. Brings the lead back up to 2. 16-14 Horace. Just under 11 now to go. Great job by Sully getting his defender to commit to where to the screen side. Good take, just unable to convert on that. And Barry lost green, or I'm not sure who's maybe responsible, and Tim Brandt's going to call a timeout to see if they can't get some things figured out. 10:27 to go. Horace leads Cheyenne 18-14. We'll be back.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
Returning after the timeout, it'll be Cheyenne's ball. Correction to a score that we shared earlier. That was a boys' game between West Fargo and Shanley. West Fargo takes it 79-75 in overtime. I believe it was tied 78-all at the end of regulation, so only...
There you go, Turo.
There. I mean, for 75-all, so not a lot of points scored in that overtime, but West Fargo pulls down a victory tonight. Is there going to say that foul was on the floor? Hoffer picks that one up, his first. Good job by Diamande getting a hand on that.
Find a guy.
Cheyenne covers everyone up here.
There you go. But look at that. That is basic give and go offense.
Turo pulls the trigger, unable to connect. Westfall over to Evenson. Good idea. Cheyenne hands in the passing lane. Good crossover by Barry. They're going to say it went off of his knee as the ball goes out of bounds. Oneman back in for Turomoni. Safoya in for Westfall.
Is Deere sitting with 2 fouls?
Deere is sitting with 2 fouls. He picked up 2 in about a 30-second stretch there. Maybe another 2-3 minutes before we see him again. I don't know if Coach Brand will let him sit the rest of the half, but ask him to try and be smart. Great job by Oneman to contest, but Moose able to convert at the rim. Good take, no fear. Be patient. Miller with the elbow jumper, converts, keeps the lead at 4. They're looking at Oneman, but to this point, Horace doing enough to try and stop some of those passes inside. Hoffer with the drive. He's unable to connect. Contested by Oneman. John Angao with a little Euro step. A little delayed call there outside the arc. They're going to call a block on Diamande. That should send Angao to the line for 2. Moose is first there. We have Noah Olson set to return. Angao makes the first. Olson replaces Miller.
Well, they got to match up here and see.
And I think they have, is that Brett Livingston that just came in for Hoffer?
I'm guessing they're going to put Olson on Evanson.
Great job. Good find for Irie. Great job rebounding, using his length for Oneman, and then finding
I mean,
Sully Irie, and here's some
there we
full
go.
court pressure.
All right. There you go. I don't care if you give up a few and they get a few easy ones, but you got to make them work for it. They're coming down here dictating what's happening on the offensive end.
And you know when you have Oneman to protect the rim back there, not many people are going to try and contest him. Good up and under.
It looked like he was going to the rim, and I was like, I don't know about this one, but it made it work.
Yeah, Savoy tried the.
He did, but he had a dude open.
Well, and he did, but
5'8"
for
loses
Savoy,
to 6'8".
5'9", it's to the 6'9". Tommy doesn't have to bite on that. He can just keep those hands up and be fine.
Damn. I'm 5'9", and I stand next to Savoy. I question 5'9".
And that's going to be off Green, yeah. Oh, no. They're going to say it's off Olsen. I thought he tapped it and Green touched it, but they say no. 22 on the shot clock. Evenson to inbound.
I can see.
And there it is.
Yep, a little pressure.
I think Irie got a hand on it.
Not sure he was set for that shot, was he?
No, again, just because you push tempo doesn't mean you take the first shot there. As Evenson spots up, unable to convert. And Oneman cleaning up the glass.
I mean, if we're going to take threes, I'd rather see him drive and kick.
Yeah. Now, Oneman's there. Instead, they settle for an outside three. I think until Horace proves that they can stop the inside game for Oneman, when you have a clean entry pass like that at a good angle,
they just can't help themselves.
You've got to take it.
They just can't.
I know the analytics say threes are more valuable than twos, as we're going to shoot another one here. That one falls, but
okay. But the analytics go over a full game, right?
Yeah.
Not in a 5-minute period when you don't need it, right? That's what I'm saying. But you know what? We got a lead. So, hey.
We absolutely do. We'll stick around for this one. This broadcast is proudly sponsored by Apex Engineering Group, professional consultants serving North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota communities and public agencies, designing solutions to your infrastructure needs. If you set the bar at competence, how do you reach excellence? Find out at apexenggroup.com. So nice run that Cheyenne's been on here. Their first real lead of the game, up 24-20. 6:49 to go. Obviously, Kyle Cummings saying we need a timeout. We need to kind of figure this out. Cheyenne has had some success with pushing tempo. What you said you liked here was the full court pressure, right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It makes them work. You're gonna get some turnovers, and plus here's the other thing is it gets you wound up on the defensive end. You're just more ready. Well, when you get back into the half court.
Good job by Savoy getting to the basket. He's excited about that.
Oh well, he's tough, dude. Yeah, I mean,
step back three, again not necessary, but
good.
That's going to go off on him, and no need to try and answer everything right away, as Miller's going to return for Angao.
Jackson looks like he's coming in there meaning all business now.
So, a preference question. Do you like just, this is more token just to kind of give them to something to think about, but do you have a preference of a zone press as opposed to something man? Or do you think one works better than the other? I know what my preference is, but.
Well, I like, and I know it can be, you can't keep doing it, but I like a 1-2-1-1.
Oh, geez. It would almost sound like we talked before the game and we didn't. That would be my preference every day of the week. And I saw just the other night, I saw a little of Davies against Shanley, and they used Kamara really well at the top of the point of that zone press. And, if you have the athletes for it, and I think between Noah Olson, between Caleb Deere. You have some guys that could do it.
You put someone with some
length and some
length
speed.
on him. Yep. And that's the it's the wild man or whatever you want to call it on the ball.
That's exactly it. I like his own press. You're right. I don't think you get away with it an entire game.
Nope.
But it creates natural trapping opportunities that a man press doesn't. And as we said, Cheyenne Moore just giving Cheyenne something, or giving Horace something to think about at this point.
I will say this. I went to the Davies game against Bismarck the other night, and oh boy, those guys have that, I don't know what you call it, 2-2-1, I guess, the closest thing I can call it.
I thought it was, are you talking
about
Davies?
Davies,
I thought it was more 1-2-1-1 or 1-2-2 because Camara just plays that, and he just causes so much havoc.
Yeah, you're right.
On the ball, and then,
Well, you got intelligent, then he's got Claybo in the backcourt.
Right.
Who just reads everything.
Great reverse there by Moose. He got Oneman to commit and just a turnaround reverse, and we're tied up at 24 with about 5 minutes as they go to Oneman. Great move by Tommy, and he gets it to fall. Put it on the ground. The hands were coming, but he picked it up and got it in the air as soon as he was able, and Deere picks up a third.
Oh, boy.
And that's going to send him to the bench for the rest of the half, I would guess.
It's a little bit of a gamble there. I get it, but he was.
So that'll bring Turo Moni off the bench. So we're going bigger again with Olsen and Moni and Oneman on the floor.
I appreciate that they're getting the ball in there to Tommy, but they're crashing down. They're triple teaming him, right?
Well, and then you can kick out at that point.
Well, yes, or get some screen and roll action going up off the top with Key.
So Moose makes the first. Draws the Hawks within one. Chance to tie it up once more. And that one does not fall. So we'll see what we got. Maybe a little high-low game. Turo. Good job by Tommy sticking with that.
All day long.
Turo turned and threw that really before he even knew if Tommy was open, and certainly Tommy has the height advantage.
Just in this particular situation or game with these personnel, it just looks like, the freak in 6th grade that's taller than everyone else.
So Westfall picks up the foul.
Technical foul called against the Cheyenne Mustangs coach.
Okay, so Oneman's going to shoot, but there's a foul, a bench technical, called on Tim Brandt. Or the Cheyenne bench anyway, specifically.
I didn't see that.
Cheyenne up 29-25, but now Horace should be shooting the technical and retain possession, if I remember how the basketball rules are supposed to work. So Westfall will get 2.
Wow.
Long on the first.
That's unusual for him.
Good on the second. And so Horace retains possession. Gavin Olsen on for Horace. So we've got Westfall, Diamande, Safoy, Olsen, and Hoffer for the Hawks. Olsen, Oneman, Irie, Miller, and Moni for Cheyenne.
An important defensive series here.
Fade away by Moose.
Yeah, we'll take that. Kick it out, kick it out, kick it out.
Safoy gets a hand in the passing lane. Cheyenne retains possession.
Put the ball on the floor and go.
Moni backs him
There
down,
we go.
kicks out to Oneman, who's now going to drive to the basket.
Ooh.
He's going to draw the foul on Diamande. I think they're going to say he just kind of slid into him. That's the second on Diamande. 6 now on the Hawks. And that'll send Oneman to the line for 2. I think Livingston will look to come back in.
Livingston substituting in for the Hawks.
Okay.
They're sending Turo long. I'm guessing that means pressure off of the make.
Oh, yeah.
And there it is. But there's the fatal flaw with the 2 bigs on the floor. Hard to guard with pressure. Savoy turns back. Olsen
Good
right
D,
there with him.
Good D.
And Savoy has to, saved by Hofer.
Oh, all right.
Tried to prevent the over and back.
Toss it up.
There it is.
Let's go. Let's go. Put it down, big fella.
And that brings the fans to their feet. A timeout by Horace. Mustangs, their biggest lead of the night, 32-26, 3:49 to go. We'll be right back.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Hi, I'm Joni and I work at Marvin. So when I first started, my training was very extensive. I was able to advance fairly quickly within Marvin, and it's just a matter of telling people that you're interested and really applying yourself. Belonging to Marvin feels like you're part of something, though it's more than just a job. For me, it's a career, and it's been a really exciting journey for me.
We're back to live action here. Horace brings the ball up, trailing by 6, 3:44 on the game clock. That high screen and roll again, defended well by Cheyenne. Irie hits the floor. Good little floater by Livingston there.
Miller got over there and a help, but a little late.
And there, Horace kind of using the same defense that most teams have against Cheyenne so far, fronting the post and Oneman and then having someone on the weak side for help. That's going to send Evenson. No, I'm sorry. That's not Evenson. That's Gavin Olsen. That's going to send him to the line for bonus shots. That was the 9th team foul, so it's still a 1-and-1 for Horace. Misses the front end. No harm on that one.
All right. There he is. There
There's
he
that
is. High-low.
Kick out. Miller
Oh, boy.
drains the 3. Good ball movement. Finding, that's a good look. No one on him had time to, he had all the time in the world to set his feet and take that shot. That's the type of 3 that you can live with as opposed to something that's stepped back off of a possible fast break opportunity. No one out there on.
Oh, weak side rebound. We shouldn't miss any of those.
And there's Westfall drains that
Can't
one.
leave him open.
No.
Watched his older brother Zach do that for one solid year in his senior year. Holy cow, did he go off.
Money goes up strong, and that's going to be called on Livingston. That's the 7th on the Hawks, but it's a 2-shot foul regardless. So both teams now in the bonus for the rest of the half.
I still would like to see a little high-low with Turo and Tommy now.
Turo makes the first. And Gao on for Sully Irie.
Those good minutes, Sully.
Yep, Evenson back in. Replacing Gavin Olson. Six now the lead for Cheyenne.
Oh.
And there's going to be the 10th team foul, so that'll be a double bonus opportunity
Can't play
for Aiden Green.
Can't play defense with your hands.
No, and not that far from the basket.
No.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Especially in
trouble.
double bonus.
Yeah.
I think Coach Brandt's telling them that right now.
Some situational awareness. Green hits the first. Not the second. So 2 minutes left in the first half.
All right. Yeah. Go get the ball.
Yeah. It's danger. You can't stand with the ball for that long. You've got to keep it moving. It makes it so hard for that defense to adjust. There's the kick out. Miller with the floater, and he converts. Good use of the shot clock and a conversion.
Okay. So Turo's got to fall back quicker on that
Yeah.
screen.
That one's going to be off of Westfall, I guess. Minute 20. Mustangs with the potential to maybe extend this lead to double digits with a 3. Up 7. Olson.
Okay, the big boy's open.
Hahnemann using that size and the putback. There's just not a lot Horace is able to do about that. Essentially has the same effect as a post entry almost on that when he can establish that kind of position for rebounding. Green pulls up, misses.
Find John in the corner. There you go.
Good patience,
One
good move.
It's going.
Think someone got a hand on that, but Hahnemann keeps it alive. Good cut by Angao and a good finish.
Good pass.
Yeah, good find by Hahnemann. Lead up to 11. Shot clock off. See if Horace tries to hold for one.
Good hedge. Now, I'm okay. I love that Turo's edging that, but he's got to know that his next move is back to the basket.
Westfall misses everything. 5 seconds.
We got time here. Well, that's not the dude you want shooting.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Good finish for Cheyenne, certainly brings them to an 11-point lead. They're up 43-32. We'll be back in a few minutes for some first half analysis and a preview of the second half. You're watching Mustang Media.
Hi, I'm TJ Oshie here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. The Lake Town way of life is appealing to so many people.
We've got a thriving school system, coffee shops, breweries, restaurants, and hockey is the hub of our community. We're probably the last place left in Minnesota where hockey is actually free.
The way Marvin supports the town supports Marvin is awesome.
There's opportunities for you, work hard, self-educate. The sky's the limit here at Marvin.
At Touchmark, we really take an input from both the community, our residents, and also our team members.
And there's something for everybody. It runs the gamut. You have the freedom to participate or not as you choose.
I personally like to play bridge. I like their book club, all the concerts that they have, the music almost every day. We like everything that's here.
And you find it here.
Every day is a different day. It's really about developing programming that is meaningful and beneficial for everyone.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, we keep moving forward. When life sends us a message, we listen. When you're determined to beat the odds, we help you plan for what's next. This is commitment, resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Welcome back to West Fargo Cheyenne High School as we're at halftime of the game between Cheyenne and the Horace Hawks. Mustangs currently leading 43-32. Dane, as we look back at the first half, any thoughts or impressions about what you saw?
Well, I thought how the game started, like I said earlier in our broadcast, it was kind of working out into Cheyenne was doing exactly what Horace wanted to do. Take some early threes, getting one and done, and then I wouldn't say we're getting beat back, but they certainly took us to the hole.
Well, Horace has tremendous team speed, and they're not afraid of anybody when they go to the basket.
What we did find out was when Coach Brandt made a shift to the pressure full court, it started forcing them to make some errors too. And we have some athletic and speed too.
Yeah.
And so it can be effective. I would hope and expect to see some more pounding it inside. I would have hoped we'd seen a little more.
We talked a little bit in a commercial break just between us talking about that, Oneman really doing a lot of his damage not from post moves, but more just putbacks, cleaning up the offensive glass.
Yep.
And that's certainly part of his responsibility, and you like to see that, but not always the concerted effort to try and get that ball inside. Horace running a myriad of guys at him, trying to stop him, and all of them have picked up a couple of fouls. I would think you just want to keep attacking.
Well, and here's the thing, even if you throw it into Tommy and they're crashing down on him, triple teaming him, I get that, but he can kick it out, or someone has to flash down a lane.
Yeah, and we saw a couple times Angao did that, but it's not consistent. That should be something that just becomes part of what the offense has to be, because everybody you play, there aren't many teams in the EDC or in the state for that matter that will be able to match up with the size of Tommy Oneman, and they've seen other teams. There's film now, obviously, that you're going to see, hey, this gives them trouble when we front and have that help over the top, and so you have to devise some method. We saw a little high-low game. That can work. But we also need to have, some awareness by Tommy to kick it out, or to, as you said, get guys flying to the basket.
I think Tommy figures, well, if they're throwing it into me, I got to go to work every time. And, it probably, I'm sure this summer when he was playing, he was getting guys that were 6'7", 6'8", guarding him.
Sure.
But That'll come with time. His game is developed tremendously, and couldn't be prouder of him.
One thing I really liked about the first half, personally, is they were able to build an 11-point lead really without Caleb Deere. Caleb was on the floor and really didn't have a chance to make a lot of impact on the game because of the foul trouble. So when you have a really good athlete like that, a guy that makes a difference offensively and defensively, and you're still able to build a lead, that's important. Now he's sitting with 3 fouls. I think the only guy on the floor or on either team that has 3. If he can play smart in the second half, I think he still has that opportunity to be a difference maker in the outcome of this game.
I know Caleb well, and I can tell you this is killing him. But you know what? It helps to have a couple other seniors on the floor that can pick up some of that slack.
Mustang fans, this broadcast is sponsored in part by Touchmark at Harwood Groves, a full-service retirement community complete with a health and fitness club, offering fitness classes, personal training, and more, so you can stay active with your grandkids for years to come. Visit touchmarkfargo.com to learn more. So Cheyenne gets the ball to start, and you mentioned earlier, first 5 minutes of the half, we haven't been great so far this year.
We gotta switch that. We gotta make that. Now's the time to make this. Foot on the gas pedal, and you know what? Do it on the defensive end.
And that's absolutely fine. You know, lots of times I think teams, people believe, defense leads to great spurts in offense, but I think it can also work the other way. You can make a few threes, and that energizes a defense, and then it feeds on itself as well, and that's a great start for Cheyenne, knocking down the 3 to start. They go inside to Hoffer. Good job by Engao getting a hand on that. He's going to knock it out. 11 to go on the shot clock. So Horace under a little pressure to make something happen quickly here. Cheyenne, you don't want to let him get to the hoop real quickly. And that's knocked out by Oneman. Now down to 9.
Wasn't the best angle.
No, and I think maybe hoping to catch Tommy sleeping down there, but Oneman, good job. So Olsen hounding Evenson, and there it is.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. Noah Olsen is, he wanted to guard Evenson, and he's doing a good job on him. He went on for 28 against North the other night.
So a 3 and a dunk to start the game. Good job slicing to the basket there by Evenson. He's kind of, maybe it looks like he rolled an ankle a little bit there. He's kind of a little hitch in his giddy up as Engao drops another 3, and the lead's up to 17.
Heating it up, Johnny. Let's go.
Hoffer not going to shoot that.
How can you not love this game? Game of runs.
Cheyenne going to walk it up, use some clock, set up the look that they want.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought Horace would maybe give us some pressure, but I haven't seen him do any full court stuff yet. All right. Tommy needs to get out of the lane.
Good find.
Ooh.
Oh,
it's all right. Oh, I thought he was
just a little bit too much on that, but it was a good find. I think Olsen was kind of trapped in no man's land between hanging out in that corner and flashing to the basket. And when he came, that pass was a little bit higher and had a little more speed on it than what he was anticipating. Safoy going to look to get to the hoop.
Wow.
But he can't finish.
I'm surprised he got that off. I thought Tommy was going to swat that into the stands.
There's a good set for Olsen. And
he needed that. You got to get going, get him going.
He loves that corner 3, and that time he was able to get set and do that. Barry's going to pick up a foul. That's 3 there, I think, as well. First foul of the half for either team.
Coach Brandt's going to leave him in there.
And he's going to let him go for a little bit. Good job by Deere, stopping Safoy, recovering to Westfall.
Well, we can't have Caleb reaching.
Nope.
Got to move
And
his
there's a swat.
One.
And they're going to call, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was moving. But
He was giving ground. It did look like Deere kind of lowered the shoulder, so I kind of was wondering what would happen, but I don't think Evenson was able to establish position in time.
That maybe Caleb would throw it up there for the flush for Tommy.
Well, that's Westfall that got that one. Sorry, not Evenson, as their refs are going to wipe up some sweat here. Make sure the playing surface is safe for everyone as Deere goes to the line for two.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like it's a 20-point lead, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
I mean,
in fact, in the first half, before one of the timeout breaks, when I looked up, I was just actually kind of surprised to see Cheyenne had jumped out and taken the lead. It hasn't seemed big in what they've done, but you know it's been steady. As Deere misses the first and the second, and they're going to get on him in that time over the top of Hoffer. A little push there. So Tommy picks up his second.
Caleb is frustrated. Come on, buddy. You're up 20. Well, oh, nice hedge.
Well, I think that's smart. You know, Tommy just picked up his second.
Yeah.
You might as well attack him, see if you can get him in some foul trouble.
Well, and I was afraid he was going to leave his feet, but he didn't.
Good look. Olsen flashing to the basket, just tipped out by Horace. Still 21 on the shot clock, lots of time.
Ooh, easy there.
Yeah. Tommy extended those arms, but refs didn't see it or didn't think it warranted a foul call.
I'm telling you right now, if I would want to be the inbounds guy on this team because you want to stuff the assists.
Nice job by Deere. Green pulls the trigger. That one doesn't go. Barry pulls it out.
Well.
And here they go.
All right.
Good job.
Okay, Caleb should have cut around the top.
That one doesn't foul. Oh, good job
nice
by Noah
hands.
Olsen. Nice hands.
Ooh. There, just like that. There's a give and go.
There it
there
is.
You go. Caleb, he like looked up to the ceiling.
So up to 24 now. I think just this size advantage, the athleticism of Cheyenne is really starting to bother
It is.
Horace.
And it's that's the problem that Kyle's got to deal with, you know. They're getting shots, they're
Yeah.
good looks, but it's one and done.
Well, and we all know you can't coach height, right?
No.
You know, it's just either you got a guy that has some length to him and sometimes you don't. And they're going to get Gavin Olsen. I don't know if they're going to say that's after the shot or if that's going to be as part of the shot.
That's a dead ball foul, isn't it?
So line change for the Mustangs here. Miller, Money, and Irie in.
See the refs talking on him in there. I think they're talking about being in the lane a little more.
Yeah. Dang Dutt in.
Is Moose in foul trouble? What's going on here?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't either. All right. Just get back.
So they try that long entry pass to Money. That's tipped. Screen over to Westfall.
Yep. You can't leave. Ooh. Okay, you got to talk on that switch, right?
Yeah.
Either you're switching or you're not.
Right. There's going to be another timeout here, I believe, by Horace. This one a full.
What is your philosophy on that whole switching thing?
I prefer not to switch.
I do too.
If at all possible.
You can fight through it.
Yeah, you can. Especially if there's communication between the defensive players. If you let them know that screen is coming, that you can maybe fight underneath it, over the top, whatever. You jump it and then recover. A smart team will eventually work you into a mismatch that benefits them if you switch everything.
Now, if someone is a good shooter and you're switching underneath, then that.
Right, that's a different, and that's situational. But I think as a general defensive philosophy, I don't like personally the switch on that.
I don't either, but I might be wrong.
There's lots of ways to skin this cat. There's no 100% right or wrong way.
I think what the key is whatever you're doing, you can't keep changing your mind.
No, it's got to be consistent. Yep. Mustang fans, we want to thank Essentia Health for being the proud partner of our Cheyenne High School's Mustang media team in this broadcast. Essentia Health, care close to home. So Horace going to show a little pressure here.
Yeah, okay.
No trouble breaking that the first time. They're going to get Olsen there. It's
little.
Yeah, that for the type of contact and things that have gone on.
Really?
But
Okay, now Olsen is asking for it here. Yeah, he's putting his arm into him there. That.
Miller keeping his cool.
Well, that's good. You want to fine, get into me. That's what I want you to do anyway.
Get frustrated. And look.
Sully going to take him to the hole. Good move.
Nice job. Good use of the left hand. Yeah. 26 now the lead for Cheyenne as they're starting to pull away. Good cut there by Evenson.
It was. Good pass, too.
Yep. Smart by Jackson pulling that back. He saw the trap showing up there. The kick over to Money. Sets himself. Unable to convert, but Oneman, good weak side rebound and a good putback. Dutt's going to pick up the foul.
What was I thinking? Did I say kick it out?
Well, and, this is the hard part for, anytime any team that doesn't have height that there's just no way to counteract it. You can hide it. You can kind of shell game it for a little while, but eventually, more times than not, that height's going to win out, and that's something that Horace just lacks.
And I don't know what it's like to be 6'8", to have confidence that I can put it up
Yeah,
against someone 6 foot.
This is true, and and Oneman only a junior, he's going to be around for another year.
Did he miss both of those or just one?
That was a one opportunity, so we just missed the one. Open look for Dang Dutt. And as well as the Horace girls shot the ball in the first half, the Horace boys are just as off in the second half as Jackson Miller drains a three.
Hey, 20. That'll work.
And now we're bordering on 30 for a lead. Had him trapped in the corner. Dutt wants no part of Oneman there. Oneman comes out. And there it finally goes.
That was deep.
That was Caden Peterson.
New one.
Deere loses the handle, turns it over. Safoy going to bring it
Who's
up.
got ball?
Cheyenne retreats, gets in position defensively.
Holy.
Deep three by Evenson, not going to go.
So,
probably.
I guess when you're down there.
Yeah, and it's a
bad
frustration. You haven't shot it well. You don't. You come off a game where you played so well.
Yep.
You're trying to force things to happen, and occasionally that works, but more times than not, it's not very successful. So Evenson, that's his first 5 team fouls on the Hawks. We're at 10.5 left here in the first half. Mustangs up by 26.
All right, Turo, go to work. See what you got.
Nice job.
He's got a good touch.
Thought he was maybe going to use a little jump hook with the right hand there into the middle, but reverses and still gets it up and in. Wears the contact and still does okay with it.
Okay, yeah. That's the problem with switching. Now you switch Turo on him.
Yeah, and like I said, good teams will do that to you until they get that mismatch that they like. It's Safoid's going to put one up. That's no good. Good hustle by Sully Irie. Oh, gets away with that as he thought Irie was continuing up the floor. Yeah, it's.
I think Miller should have pressed the issue and just taken it the hole there, right?
Deere can't connect. Safoy pushing tempo. Return pass, pull up for Restwall. Not good.
You got a track meet going here, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. There he is.
There it is. Good slip screen.
Oh, boy.
Nicely done. When you take the time and run it properly, it's so hard. It's such a simple thing, yet so effective.
Well, got to practice it.
Good job. Good help by Irie there. Forces Safoy back out.
Yeah, that was a good pass.
It was a good pass. Westfall kind of took him by surprise.
Feel like got pushed underneath the basket.
Safoy attacks, and now they're going to get on him and seemed a little late.
Well, you got to appreciate the heart.
So I think that's 3 on Oneman. So we have Olsen, Penu, and Angao waiting to come in. We'll see if Oneman is one of the replacements. One of the guys that they're in for.
Well, I guess we got 8 minutes here, but
Safoy buries the first one. Miller out.
This has to be putting
Deere out and Oneman out, yes?
Cheyenne players in a little better state of mind going into Mandan on Saturday. This is going to be a different game on Saturday.
It certainly will be the way, Mandan, the entire West plays defense, and there'll be more size there, obviously. And it's good to exercise some of those demons, giving away a lead like they did against South. And they almost did against West Fargo. I mean, West Fargo had that down to about 7 points with a minute and a half left after being down 25. So, I think this is good if you're able to finish this out.
Yeah, and I want them to finish hard here. Don't get sucked into doing a bunch of
speeding up,
right.
Taking ill-advised shots, quick shots. Just be patient.
So
someone needs to flash right there. Someone needs to flash.
You saw it too on it.
It's just sitting wide open.
Oh.
You got Olsen waiting out there. It's quick. And that's going to stay with Cheyenne, and they'll get a fresh 30. But, man, when that lane is open, someone just, even if it's not there, it forces the defense to adjust.
Right.
And that's maybe something they'll see on some film and decide that, that's something we can do. It's never good when a defense or an offense stands around and waits for one guy to make a decision. No offensive foul called there.
Hello, big fella.
Turomoni goes hard to the basket, and the lead has grown to 30. Woo, then that was, Safoy was not able to establish his presence on in the front court, so that's going to be an over and back.
Okay, look at how Barry.
Yeah, Barry's asking what.
But he's yeah.
Yeah. Now Barry just keep it going. Fresh 30. No need to rush.
That's a good shot.
And there's going to be an offensive foul. I think they're going to get Turo on that one. Everybody, no one's happy with the refs out here.
I've never seen a foul Turo's agreed with. Ooh, there's a trapping situation. I like this. I like that they're doing this. I don't care if I see. That's why. That's why.
Oh, almost come away with another. As Moose drives in, drops it off to Dutt, and he finishes. Lead once again, 30. Turo setting that high
there
screen.
He is. Oh, Turo need to.
Hey, he slowed down. You got to keep going to the basket.
The basket.
That's what the guy is expecting. It's no different than a backdoor cut. That's where the passer expects you to be. You have to carry that out, even if you don't think you're going to be open. Unless you've played together, unless you're Pat Mahomes and Jason or and Kelsey, you just can't do that. You've got to be on the same page, and that takes a lot of repetitions.
What if Taylor's
Travis Kelsey? Well,
we haven't seen a spotting of Taylor yet.
So Mike Safoy trying to cut the lead under 30. Misses the front end. Caden Peterson in for Sanchez. Getting some guys some playing time here. He's waiting to be, I think he must be coming in for Safoy. It looks like Safoy's maybe gimping a little bit there.
Yeah, he hurt himself on that one of the inbounds on him during the press.
So don't take off on him. Just
right.
be there for help.
The other night against South, it wasn't a man-to-man press. They were jumping from behind.
Right.
Soon as one of our guards would turn their back.
Well, and that was the thing from what I saw of the coverage, and granted it was a huddle camera, every time a guard turned their back, a spin move, they were jumping, and credit to Coach Hendrickson. He knew what to look for on that, and it worked as Turo's going to drop that one in. Nice pass by Sully Irie. That screen and roll works well there.
You can mitigate or, minimize that jumping and all that by just running your big guy down the middle and have your guard rub your man off him.
Again, this press, it speeds you up. Just once you get into that half court, establish and run what you want to run. There's the kick. There's the shot you want.
I'm good with that.
Yes.
You know what?
That's exactly, you worked it.
And here's what I'm going to say. Nice shot, John. But assist for Monings.
Yep. You can make those things happen. You still get the threes that you want. You don't have to take them with, within the first 8 seconds on the shot clock, as Olsen's going to drive. Contested by Penu, and they're going to get Barry with the body. I'm going to say that's a block, so that's going to be an and one opportunity as Olsen finishes, and that is 5 for Barry Penu. His evening will be over as we have Jackson Miller, Caleb Deere, and Tommy Oneman coming in.
Gavin Olsen, he gets after it, doesn't he?
Some questions here about can we come in. It's an and one, so you got to come in now. You're waiting till the next dead ball. It's Penu, Moni, and Irie are going to take a seat. So 5:21 to go and a 30-point lead for the Mustangs. Olsen converts.
What are we doing here?
Take your time.
Yep.
Wait.
Guard right there.
Wait. There you go. Again, now you got Tommy over here in the position you want him. You waited too long. You had it there.
He just come over further.
Yeah. But that set up Olsen with his spot and a chance to set himself and get up a good look. Good spin move by Olsen. Nice finish. That was nicely done by Gavin Olsen. Yeah, good recognition. And that was something that hurt them against Bismarck as they played into that trap so many times. This is another thing that you have to come and meet that ball. On a pass of that length, you stand there, of course a defender's going to come through and either get a hand on it or steal it. You've got to come to meet that ball. Basketball 101, I think.
Fundamentals.
So Westfall on now. Over to Evenson. Green to Dutt. Diamande.
Look at all that action going on now.
A lot of movement that forces that defense to recover. You're banking on someone losing their man. Good attack by Moose and finish at the hoop.
Where has he been this half?
He has not seen a lot of action.
Okay, there we go, Mellon. Boom.
A little quick. Oh, he was not set. Again, not necessarily in need for that shot.
I don't think Brant is happy about that. Just based on his body language.
Just not a need. Again, doesn't even have to be a good shot, but I think you'll get a good look. But just eat some clock. Olsen could have been called for a foul on that, but nothing called.
Holy.
There's a deep three by Westfall. Good hustle by Tommy, keeping Dutt off of it. There you go. You go to the ball. Nice pull-up jumper from about 6 feet by Miller, 5 feet. Lead hovering around 30 as Evenson looking to go back door. Westfall thinks he's popping out to the wing, not on the same page. Slow it down. Think they're going to get Livingston there.
Oh, look at this.
And we're going to clear the bench. Although I believe Tommy Oneman's going to shoot a 1-and-1. But
we got 6 guys on the floor.
Everybody, oh God, I can't come in yet? I got to wait? So some new guys on the floor. Cooper Bryant. Caden Olsen.
You think the crowd will go Coop if he makes one?
Isaiah Lincoln.
Caden Olsen.
And Michael Gullix.
All-state quarterback. Wasn't that something?
He could sling it. Oh! Rims in and out. So some wait time for Oneman's substitution. I always like this opportunity early, especially early in the season, to get guys on the floor. You never know as the season progresses. I know when Davies played the other night. Clabo was out due to illness. You don't know, illness, injury, things come up in a basketball season. It's so long that you may have to rely on one of these guys to fill in and give you some spot minutes. And so because of that, giving guys some opportunities to be on the floor is always a good thing. Tommy, good dump off to Caden Olson. Bryant out to Olson. They're using the clock. Oh. Isaiah Lincoln puts it up and almost converts. Sanchez can't make it. Someone call a timeout for a substitution.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here's some more. Oneman kind of, do I keep shooting?
Yeah.
Or do I not? There's a good find to Livingston. Someone's going to, there we go. Coach.
I didn't know that.
Coach Ellingson just gets the.
Clabo was sick the other night.
Yeah,
he didn't explain why York
play
got
at all.
36.
Yeah, Clabo didn't play. He was ill, and it's just the stuff going around right now. You just don't know when that's going to end up happening. So, Davies handled Shanley the other night, and that was without Clabo. Winding down on a minute here. Davion Green working hard inside, looking for that ball. There we go.
Yeah, look at that. That's the most they've cheered on a two-pointer.
Gabe Zafra on that.
That's a nice shot. Look at that. 5-4 Duke, come on. Oh, hit him.
Oh, he's.
Why not? Might as well.
Oh, he's out of bounds. That Chase Spielman was maybe going to get to go to the line, but not the case. Gullicks calls a play.
I want to see. What is his name? Staffney?
Carter Staffney.
Yeah, I want to see him. Oh, come on now. One for the little guys.
Into Davion Green. Oh, and he is a lefty.
Yeah, that's a good move.
25 seconds to go here now. Staffney helping out. Gullicks picks it off.
Go, Michael.
There's Staffney. Boom. And that would have brought the house down.
That would have been. Good for them.
They're going to get, I think, Gullicks on that one. And that's going to be the bonus situation for the Hawks.
Mustangs have gone for some numbers here. They went 81 the other night, 94 against Backers, 80-some.
Cole Somerville at the line for the Hawks, shooting 1-1. A little hard off the back iron. And with under 10, I'm going to guess they're going to dribble this guy out.
Nice work.
And that'll bring Cheyenne. The boys earned the split for the night. They defeat Horace 85-57. What'd you like about what Cheyenne did in this one, Dane?
I liked how they, in the first half, even though it wasn't really going their way and they were down a little bit, they didn't let that rattle them. Stuck to their guns, made a few shots. Miller got to the hole on a couple baskets there. Kept the, we didn't totally start launching up those threes in the second half of the half. And I think, and I like their press.
Yeah, it was a good changeup. To me, it felt like a quiet 85. It didn't stand out. We didn't have somebody dropping 35 or 40 points. A lot of contributors. And I think that's important moving forward because as you go through an EDC season, you're going to have nights that you need guys to step up and make some crucial shots, get some big rebounds, kind of earn some of those 50-50 balls on the floor, going after those. And so I think I thought it was very good complementary basketball tonight. I think they were fairly solid on the defensive end, solid on the offensive end. They weren't perfect. No one is. They'll look at it and decide what's worth taking about it. And like we talked about after the girls' game, and that one was won by Horace 68-50. Quick turnaround, right? You get one practice to just kind of, and after a game, you're probably not going to go real hard tomorrow night. You go with one practice, and then you got Mandan coming in here on Saturday afternoon, and really you probably just want to work on the kind of the philosophy type of things that you have. You're not game planning that one so much. You just want to say, hey, these are the things that we maybe struggle with, or these are the things we need to work on, and that's what you want to do.
Mandan took Fargo North to the wire in overtime, right?
Yep.
They lost by 2.
Opening game of the year.
Opening game of the year, I get it. You don't know a lot about each other. I'm assuming Coach Brandt will go look at that if he hasn't already.
Right.
And I think the boys meet up Saturday or probably tomorrow and look at some film too.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know much about Mandan as to what they bring, if they bring pressure. They know they got the Sheldon kid. Is that what's
I don't recall,
their
but
name?
I know they reside outside of the eastern part of the state. So my guess is they bring pressure. Because that's what they do in the West. That's what it seems like every team does, and certainly nothing wrong with that. And that'll be a good test for the Mustang boys on Saturday. So first game goes to the Hawks 68-50 in the girls matchup. The Mustangs get game 2 of the doubleheader 85-57. I quite honestly, Dane, I'm at a loss here because this is where your son usually says to, like something or check out this or that. I do know that I believe we're on Twitter. Look at Instagram. These are the things he says. So I'm just repeating Mustang post. Make sure to click the bell.
He says them better.
He does a way better job of it. But that'll tell you every time we go live. Our next broadcast for basketball is indeed Saturday. I think it's a 1 o'clock start for the girls and like 3 o'clock for the boys. So we're hoping you can join us for that one. Beyond that, thanks for joining us this evening, Dane. It was
fun.
A pleasure doing this.
I don't know if it's an experiment or what.
Well, I don't know, but thanks for sitting in for Grant Knodel. So for Dane Miller, I'm Dan Wolf. Thanks for tuning in. Mustangs win 85-57 in Game 2, lose 68-50 in the first one. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
It was once said, good is the enemy of great. If all that you strive for is good enough, how will you ever achieve greatness? The efforts led to this. Every rep, every drill, all the work unseen will be worth it. Because right now, the eyes are on us.
Blow the check up, detonation, kill them one by one, final destination. Top my destination, I got guardian angels all around it. That's deflector say, I'm a motherfucking champion. This right here, the anthem. I can't dap you without hand saying, I don't know your dirty ass hands. I wake up to like 100 texts. Championship team, but we can't cut the net. She all off in my jersey, looking underdressed. I'm finna buy this bitch a Honda CRX.